right, coming to you live from Columbia University. This is the Defying All Odds Podcast. Rafael, Jesse. So I wanted to highlight the everyday stories of everyday people and just prove that we all have adversity.
So like, yeah, I was homeless, but like I was alive.
I really had to work through that, and when I got through that, that's when I started being consistent.
It just made me really just feel grateful to even be still alive.
And we got Alan in the house, and we got Diego in the house. That old meal.
And we got a special guest,
Ellie. And over here I got Serafina.
and today we have Dr. Steve.
And Dr. Shaw.
Hey, Paresh Shah here.
Y aquí con el honorable cónsul general
Jesús Vázquez Martínez.
We have a special guest right here, el presidente, the former president of the Dominican Republic, Leonel Fernández.
Aquí estamos. Hi, how are you?
What do you want to say to all the Gappy people?
Thank you so much for the love and support all these 4 years. We finally did it, guys.
Hey, honorary graduate.
Stop, bro.
For those of you watching, thanks for always listening in. We always appreciate you listening. And thank you for joining as always.
Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you so much for tuning in. It's Jesse signing off, and
Your boy Ralph always like, share, and subscribe.
don't forget.
Deuces.
Have a good one.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Defying All Odds Podcast. And today is, I always mess this up. I don't know. I always get nervous when I do these things. But anyways, happy anniversary! Woo! I can't blow. Anyways, pause. Yes, guys, we have finally made 1 full year in this podcast.
Absolutely.
All right, 365 days. Crazy.
Insane.
Like, look, we have the design to prove it. There we go. Right here. Look, we made some decorations. I got the party hat. It's a good time right now. Like, we're having a blast. Whoop, whoop. So,
Fiesta.
yes. So, today, for our 1 year anniversary, we want to go ahead and kind of rehash what we have done over the entire year and just yap it up and just talk about everything that we've done out so far. And then later on, we're gonna get Luis, our producer, into here so he can talk about his experience since joining us. So why don't we get started? Jesse, how you feeling first though?
I'm feeling great. Glad to be here. Back as always, coming to you live again from Columbia University in the same exact room we recorded our very first episode in. Feels good to be back.
Yes. How are you feeling overall? Just 1 full year, 365.
Honestly, can't believe a year went by like that. It still feels like yesterday where you told me to come here with you and set up a camera and just click record. So now
Facts.
we're over 40 plus episodes in, many guests. We just wrapped up a few last week, so it's been a crazy ride for sure.
Yeah, and we've definitely gotten better. So
Absolutely.
The way we want to start this is we kind of want to give each other, have a little kind of Q&A for ourselves.
There we go.
Yeah, so we're just gonna kind of go back and forth with each other and just ask each other some questions that we have in mind. That we just kind of see where our heads are at with all of this stuff. So I'd say, Jesse, you want to go first?
Yeah. So without further ado, let's get this rolling.
Yeah.
Shall we, as one might say. So how about this? Out of all the guests we've had, which guest have you been most shocked about that we were able to get on?
Most shocked. I mean, if I'm being honest, I feel like every guest that we've had is pretty shocking to me.
That's true.
I did not think we would have so many people so eager to be willing to get on this podcast. and be willing to share their stories and be excited to like support us as well, whether it's from friends, people from this campus, people that we've never met and just reached out.
That's true.
So I mean, it's cheesy, but yeah, I would say that. I mean, obviously, I would say like if you obviously having a former president is pretty crazy. I mean, especially from where parents grew up from. So getting the opportunity to talk to someone like that and just being able to represent our culture is pretty shocking, I would say. But in general, like again, like you go back to our second and third episode, like even just those people having them, and then all the people we've had up until now, and the people that we're getting in the future is still a surprise to me every single day. So,
I mean, I'll say that I agree that it's hard to kind of put one name to it.
Yeah.
Because every story we've heard, every person we've had, they've all had interesting stories to share. I would definitely say that being able to get our childhood friends, I think that was also pretty cool.
For sure.
For instance, Rafael had a high school friend, Simba on. I had one of my
Shout out, bro. Miss you.
I had one of my good friends, Aaron, episode 3.
Miss you too.
So, that was also kind of cool, I would say, to get those on. And
yeah,
also just all the student athletes we've had. We've had Lauren on twice already, so shout out to her. She was our second episode, and
right.
We've had a few other athletes like Noah, Kenny, you name it. Like the list goes on and on.
Yeah, fitness influencers.
Exactly. So
we've
definitely hit on a lot of ground, I would say. But I would say some of the guests that we've had on, I guess shocked about. I agree. Having a former president is just something that 12 episodes in, you go from having all these great individual stories, and then you go to such a high profile name is it's almost like unbelievable.
Yeah, and we were only like 5 months in.
Very barely, yeah.
Like just barely 5 months into starting it.
No, not even 3 months in, actually.
I guess so. Yeah, I was like no more than that. Yeah, and
1 month in.
The fact that we were able to do that so quickly, so early on, I think it also showed like a lot of other people who, because again, when you start something, a lot of people often will look at you like, they're just messing around, they're just playing games. And I feel like particularly with that, having that guest on gave us a bunch of credibility and showed like, okay, they're being for real. Like they're actually trying to,
it's serious.
They're trying to do something cool about it, because, it's not, not anybody can do that. You got to really,
I agree,
put the work into something like that.
And what I've loved also is the journalism component from it too, right? We've been able to kind of build off of that. And now getting a high profile guest, I don't want to say it's easy. It's definitely not. It's always a challenge to schedule behind their schedules. But I would say it's made it a lot more almost like kind of comfortable for us to be in that kind of environment that we were never used to being in. Only because now you look at, for instance, we had the Consul General on, we had Chairman of Neurosurgery, Dr. Stieg, Dr. Shaw, the CEO of New York Presbyterian, most recently a U.S. Congressman, Adriano Espaillat. So having all these people on, it's almost, we've kind of turned into independent journalists, which is something that I didn't really expect. And honestly, that's something that it's been great. So, yeah.
Nah, for sure. I think another thing too, like me particularly, like if anybody knows me, like when it comes to just politics and all that jazz, I'm not the first one that you're going to come to ask about that stuff. So being able to put myself in these rooms that I wasn't asking to be in, nor or anything for that matter, and getting the privilege to experience how setting these type of things work, I think it's pretty fascinating. So overall, it's pretty dope,
Yeah.
Next
question there.
I'll go next if you let me.
Yeah.
What kind of improvements have you seen from yourself throughout this entire year, from our episode 1 to episode now?
It's a good question. I'd definitely say probably the way we transitioned between. I think if you look back to our earlier episodes, we definitely, I would say, kind of struggled with that at first, whether that was, I don't want to say controlling the guests, but rather moderating the episode, right? So knowing who was going to ask what question, who was going to go when in preparation, kind of those kind of logistics.
Like time management.
Yeah, exactly. You can notice that early on. It's I mean, I will say we've definitely seen improvement by just adding another person to the team. So shout out our producer Luis.
Yes.
But more to come on that later, of course. But I'd say in terms of myself, probably the time management, communication, and probably even myself as like a content creator now, because that's something that I never really thought about or envisioned. Never really thought about putting myself out there. In most of my socials, I would say for the most part, were all private back then. And being able to now putting myself in front of a camera, having a public audience, it's definitely very different.
Yeah.
Something that I've learned to, I don't want to say overcome that fear, but
like embrace a little bit more.
Embrace, yeah. Like being able to accept that we have people now that we're not just, it's not mom and dad or fulano from the X and Y family, but rather we have people from all around the world that are watching this now. If you go to our analytics, we've definitely seen that we've been watched in different countries already.
Yeah, like we get people like people from India and like Russia, and I'm just like, what are you guys doing? What you watching it for?
I think the one and one of the ones I was most shocked about was like once I think we popped up in like parts in the Middle East and Asia. It was like Indonesia, Iraq, and I was just like, well, I can't believe that we're so widespread now. So.
Yeah, we're international, bro.
Exactly. So
don't get it twisted. This ain't a small business, guys. So
yeah, that's definitely been an improvement that I've definitely seen.
Facts. And me personally, I think what I've improved or what I've seen the most improvement has been just my ability to I guess like work in a team, because before this, because while Jesse's not been one to be willing to be in front of being in front of the camera and just creating, I've always been a creator, and I've always been someone that, whether I have a group or a friend, like I've always just found a way to make stuff happen on my own. So being able to have a team now that we can kind of like spread the workload has been really cool, and seeing, and not only that, but also like all the things that I was never able to do very well in, like they've shown me how to improve on those things, so like my strengths and weaknesses and vice versa. So I've learned a lot from them, and like I've learned a lot from Jesse too, surprisingly,
believe it or not.
So yeah, I think that's really, really cool, being able to just like improve my like just team building aspect of it, because I mean, again, we worked in Gap together as we've said many times before, and I mean, again, we worked in a team in retail and stuff like that, but it's not the same.
It really isn't,
because I mean, obviously it's a more corporate thing, but also just like, again, this is something that we are building from the ground up, so
it's independent and it's ours. That's the best way to put it.
Facts.
So
and I would also say before we go into the next question, like speaking about like communication, like I remember the first thing after we finished our first episode, and I told him, all right, bro, like, let's talk about like what we did wrong or like what we can improve on. And I remember, bro, I told you, like, bro, you need to give me time to speak.
Yeah, that was definitely like one thing where, you get so enriched with the feelings and the emotion from a question. And from that first episode, we definitely learned a lot, to the point where Rafael now refuses to watch it, believe it or not.
Oh yeah, if you want to know what's my least favorite episode, it's the first one. Simple as that. Like,
it's because there's so many variables.
No, I'll tell you why. I mean, yes, there's a lot of variables, but like also just like, I mean, again, I've said it too before, but like
the format.
It's just like when I look at where we've come to today, and seeing what that first episode is, like it's a very cringy. Like, your first episode never gonna be the best one, obviously. So every time I look back at it, I'm just like, oh my God, bro. Like, if only I knew what I knew now. But, hindsight is 2020.
But what I will say is it's definitely a great episode to still check out if you haven't already. If you really want to learn more about our backgrounds and where we come from, please go check it out.
Yeah, if you want. Or you can watch the other ones too. Like,
I mean, do that too. There's a whole catalog, but I would definitely say, like, if you really want to learn more about who we are, it's definitely a great episode. It gets somewhere to start, but not anywhere to get a feeling of, like, that's where we're at right now. But
yeah,
go on to our next question. So we've had a lot of our friends. We've had a lot of people from Colombia and beyond. Who is your dream guest, high profile or not, to be on the podcast going forward? You got to pick one.
A dream guest?
Yeah.
I mean,
you could choose anybody in the world. Who would it be? Alive, of course.
I mean, why got to be alive? Okay.
It makes more.
I mean, all right. Okay, in all seriousness, I mean, who would be cool? I'd say, I mean, the first person that comes to my mind is Bad Bunny. Like, that's my guy. Like,
I thought about that one.
right? I mean, like, obviously. But I think somebody I feel like would be super cool to have a conversation with is Neil deGrasse Tyson.
That's a good one, yeah.
That man, like, I always, like, I've listened to a lot of his videos that he makes content himself actually as well. He has his own podcast. And I just love, like, listening and hearing about him. So I think that would be someone that would be really cool to learn a lot about when it comes to just like everything, because that man has such a big brain for knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't put it in different words. I think that's an excellent choice. I would say someone that if I had to really, really pick and hone it on the name, I grew up with sports my entire life, so it's kind of hard not to choose a sports athlete, but I'd probably say Carmelo Anthony. I think growing up with, number 7 in New York, growing up watching Melo play at the Garden, was always a big fan. And he also has his own podcast. If you guys don't already watch him, he has his own podcast, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. And I think the way he engages in, I'm an avid watcher of it, and the way he engages in it and kind of shares his stories is something that is like really true conversation.
Yeah.
But from outside of the sports, well, I guess we could say too, right? Because he did too, but probably more in like looking forward to, I guess, like some of the sciences, some of like the bigger brains that we've had out there. I remember when I was for those that don't know, I attended the National Dominican Student Conference at Yale University back in February, and I was able to meet Dr. Rafael Antigua, who is one of the most renowned internal medicine physicians coming out of the Dominican Republic, and who was also on the faculty here at Columbia University's Irving Medical Center. Just like hearing the fact that he came from the same culture that Rafael and I both share, and is in the field of medicine, something that I aspire to be one day.
Yeah,
is definitely someone that I think we would truly benefit from hearing from, kind of the stories he's had both in the DR and coming here to the States.
Okay,
so that's someone I would definitely say he's up there.
Yeah, no, pretty cool choices. I think overall pretty. I mean, again, we've shown our podcast is very, very diverse. So
absolutely.
But speaking with all that diversity, if you had to pick, what of all the episodes that we've had up until this point, like what would you say were one of your favorite, best moments, in this time so far that we've had?
Well, if he's watching this right now, I would definitely look back and probably say episode 5. I believe it was with Nicolo Romanelli here at Columbia University. I honestly think that episode itself really showed a lot of our emotion. A lot of it was very funny, very entertaining. Something that I didn't necessarily see us getting into. I know we've had a very serious podcast. We've definitely covered some very deep and dark and even some sad stories, unfortunately. But obviously, of course, focusing on the motivational aspect. But now looking back and kind of looking at what was like fun and something that we really enjoyed, I'd definitely say Nico's personality is just something that's just out of this world. If you haven't checked that out, please go do so. Do yourself a favor and do that. But yeah, I would definitely say it was definitely his personality. It brought the best of both of us on that episode.
Yeah, no, he definitely had good moments, a lot of laughs and stuff like that. So those are always, I mean, obviously those are always the most, it feels like the most comfortable to do, because it just feels so easy. It doesn't seem so forced upon. I mean, my best moments, I'd say it's more when the cameras are off, not necessarily just when we're recording. Just like all the moments we've been able to share when we're not filming, and just like the opportunities and the times that we've been able to share every time we finish an episode and we go out and sit down and chat it up and just talk about what we reflect on, what we did on that particular day, and always just remembering just like how mentally drained we were, because when we first started, especially, we would constantly do like multiple guests in a day. Excuse me.
That was crazy. I think one time we had 4 in a single day.
Yeah, and like we would spend just hours just like trying to batch videos, which is the best thing to do, and I don't think we're gonna stop that. But we definitely been better to manage that. But I think those moments, again, it just like showed our grit and our willingness to work for this. So I think those moments that we pushed ourselves hard, and especially here, just like me learning to like edit some type of format like this, and again with Jesse, just like figuring out how to like, you know, do more outreach and things of that nature. So those kind of little moments that like are that you don't see, I think are generally the best because it brings the best out of us over here.
I agree. I think also you look back at some of the things that we've definitely learned about each other, whether that's us grabbing a bite right after. Sometimes we're hungry, we want to get food right after the podcast. And we kind of share the stories we share, the memories we make. Rafael's been on this campus many, many times. And I can tell you that we have so many stories and memories together just simply because we finished an episode and we spent time together. For that, I always cherish those moments because it's small moments like that you really remember.
I'm an honorary graduate. Basically.
If you haven't checked out those videos, go definitely do so on our pages.
Yeah. Shoot me another one.
All right. So we've recorded in this classroom many, many times.
Yes.
So besides this classroom, we've recorded at New York Presbyterian Hospital, Front River Cafe. We recorded at
a lot of places.
Fernández's foundation office, the Dominican consulate office, so many different locations. Even Butler Library, which is also still on campus. Out of all the locations we've recorded in, which one has been your favorite and why?
My favorite? My favorite. I'd say, I think maybe just because of like the comfortability, I guess this place here, only because just like we've done so many here and like we just know how to control the setting. And in the other locations, like while they've been great, like the library was really cool. I think it was like just like it gave us a different vibe and feel when we were just like chatting up, and you know, going into like a political foundation office space, whatever. I mean, that was a cool experience to just like figure out how we were able to like format that video, not knowing so much about the location, because a lot of these locations other locations that we've done have been, I don't want to say on the spot, they're definitely planned, but they've just been a little bit more spontaneous as well. So yeah.
For me, I'd probably say the library, I think, only because as much as I do love the space and the comfortability, I definitely think that, I guess I'm a little bit biased here since I graduated from here, and the amount of hours and the amount of stories I've already shared about being in that space, kind of, I guess, the nostalgia of like being a student, and just, but this time, instead of being in that space for an academic purpose, we're doing it before more of a motivational and an educational purpose, which is our podcast. And that's something that I'm very grateful for that we've had the opportunity to do. We recorded in 2 different locations inside the same library. And, you know, every time we did it, I think that one, like he's mentioned before, it's not necessarily always planned out ahead of time, but rather we're able to almost like improvise in the moment to kind of set up and kind of change the space around us.
Yeah, a lot of adaptation.
Exactly. Sure. But I would definitely say just the scenery is something I definitely enjoyed. And like we mentioned, we've gone to hospitals, we've done offices, and we've done other spaces. But for the most part, they've always all of the spaces we've done, I've definitely enjoyed. But I definitely say the library brings the most amount of nostalgia.
Okay. All right. It's my turn, right?
Right.
What have you learned from me throughout this time, specifically from the moment we started this podcast?
Something that I've definitely learned from Rafael that I hadn't known before. So as you all know, Rafael and I both worked at Gap. And other than the short amount of times that we had kind of seen each other outside of work, I really didn't know Rafael beyond seeing him on social media.
I just remember him as a little boy that always bothered me.
But besides that, I knew Rafael was a content creator. I knew he was always very comfortable behind the camera and a great editor. That's one also the main reasons why I think we were able to start this so quick was because of our personalities. But something I learned that Rafael I didn't know before is probably almost like his willingness to take risks. I guess like when you're in a corporate setting, like, you know, you're working for the Gap or any kind of other institution, you are more limited by different rules that exist, and you have to follow a set of laws, and you can't necessarily kind of be independent to the point where you can't do things without asking for permission. And whereas now having this ability to kind of do what we want, where we want, etc.
Yeah.
I think Rafael's willingness to kind of step out of his comfort zone was something I didn't expect him to do so well.
Thank you.
Because
You got to shoot your shot, guys.
for instance, like when I told Rafael we're recording with a former president in 2.5 hours and he has to call out of work, and that's a whole different story for another day. The fact
I
that
don't appreciate that day.
but the fact that he was willing not just obviously to make the effort and go there, but the way that we ran that interview, being like his first time in that kind of space, in that environment, and especially as a reporter, we're obviously YouTubers and content creators, but in that space you're also a journalist, an independent journalist, and you're trying to learn more about the person. So he, and specifically the former president at the time, to kind of give them a space to share their story, but also learn about different policies, different issues. And that's something that I didn't think that Rafael would be so accustomed to, and he did it pretty naturally. So for that, I'm grateful.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So if you don't shoot, you're never gonna know. So that's my way of looking at it.
Aim for the stars and land on the moon.
Right, exactly. So I kind of already touched it earlier, but like I said, just like being able to, I think, well, it kind of goes a little bit hand in hand as well, but like apart from just like the risk taking, but also, me personally, I'm a very energetic, pretty loud person, right? I think in some ways, but I do know how to dial it down, but I definitely learned how to, I think, be more at peace with certain things and not like try to let things go over proportion, sort of say, because I could be a hothead at times.
He definitely can.
So yeah, so I definitely learned how to just try to be a little bit more laid back in certain situations, but also know when I have to step in, but also being, again, like I said, just like working in a team and understand like it's not just me, but it's me and him and Luis. So it's all of that put together, and being, like I said, just being willing and able to just let my hands free and let them kind of take the ball and run with it in certain things. And obviously some things hit and some things don't, but that's life. So that's how you got to go at it. So yeah.
There you go. I think just for the sake of time, we'll move on to the next question, but I think that's well put, of course. But besides everything we've already been through, kind of looking back at it now, are you shocked? Were you shocked at first to see how much we've grown, beyond the numbers, but seeing the amount of people who have seen the podcast, people have reached out to be on there, and even just the numbers themselves, and just reflect on the year as a whole as to how much we've grown as individuals and as podcasters?
Well, yeah, like I touched on this a little bit earlier, but yeah, just seeing the utmost support from people that I just did not expect it to come from, just because it just, not because they weren't willing to do it, but just understanding there's just certain things that you don't expect it to come out from certain people, because you're just not in this world, and you don't know who's really watching, but you come to realize I learned real quick, you can't focus too much on the just the number behind it, because there are a lot of people, there's more people watching, there's more people looking at our stuff that don't necessarily are commenting and sharing and subscribing and stuff like that. Maybe eventually one day they'll do it. Hopefully I do. But
please, guys, if you guys aren't subscribed already, please make sure you are subscribed.
Yes, right.
Be sure to follow us across our different platforms as well.
And just understanding even if they're not doing that, but there are people that are still out there that come up to me that'll be like, hey, I noticed that I saw that you do this podcast. I've been seeing your stuff. I see the clips that you guys put up on social media. It's cool stuff, really dope. And also just not only that, but also understanding the awareness that we've created through this has given us so much more outreach from other people to be willing to come to us and want to work with us as well in different ways. And I think that's really dope. So I think that's really shocking, just to see there's people, if you have something that you want to put out, be willing to put it out there, because eventually someone's going to see it and they're going to say something and want to collaborate.
I honestly think that's honestly the case. Like, seeing the amount of support, I honestly didn't really think, like, when people ask, I always remember, I believe it was Kai Cenat, or I think Aisha speaks, one of those streamers online, and they say, what makes you keep going? And it's just having that one subscriber, that one, one person that's still watching you. And no matter beyond the numbers, just seeing the amount of support, how fast we've been growing. It's something that I didn't necessarily expect. Albeit it's definitely a slow grind, but every day,
You get better.
Yeah, you get better. The goal is always to be 1% better than yesterday. As long as you're improving and you're continuing to kind of push forward and change things that are going to make you not just a better person, a better podcaster, and make this a better podcast itself.
Yeah.
And making sure that we highlight really these stories that really need to be heard.
Facts.
There's so many different lessons and morals that you can apply to your daily life. And I think that was one of the rationales why we started this.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for all the support we've had. We're approaching almost 500 followers on LinkedIn, almost 200 subscribers on YouTube. So, continue the great support, and be sure to obviously share this with your family and friends.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think it's your turn.
Right? Yeah, I almost lost it.
Yeah.
I guess just like end it off here. So again, we're year 1, now going to go into year 2. I don't think we have any doubts that we're gonna push this on. Or like we don't plan to stop this anytime soon.
Absolutely not, no.
So what would you say, like, what do you expect us to accomplish, to reach, to be able to do within this next year coming up? Like, what do you feel that, like, it's going to happen?
I definitely see, I'm going to start with, it's a good question. Probably I anticipate that we're going to have our very, well, I shouldn't say our first, I guess our second sponsorship now, looking at kind of getting more sponsors on the podcast. I think getting this, obviously we're able to do this in the space and the kind of the equipment we have, but I think having sponsors will definitely help and continue to improve everything, kind of the logistics and systems that we have. I do expect that to happen as we continue to grow. In terms of numbers, I think, I don't want to start throwing numbers out there, but I definitely anticipate that we will be somewhere in the 4-figure mark at least by the end of the year, and hopefully by, I should say by the end of the year too.
Yeah.
Or hopefully maybe in the 5 figures in terms of number of people that are subscribed or followed or liking and sharing and what.
You know, I just realized.
What's up?
We should make a Patreon.
A what?
A Patreon.
Oh, that's true.
I never thought of that, but I just thought about it now. So it's gonna come soon. If it comes, it'll be here or it'll be one of the other episodes. But when it's out, we'll tell you guys. So
stay tuned. But I definitely see us. I think we'll probably be expanding as well to more platforms. I definitely see that happening. Something we discussed is to expand to Facebook. So for those of you folks that don't necessarily like YouTube or like being on Instagram or TikTok, I think we'll be on Facebook soon enough. And for those of you that aren't necessarily into this film making a space, will also, I anticipate us to go onto different platforms such as Apple Music, iHeartRadio, and hopefully
and all the places, as many places as we can be.
And to continue to update our Spotify as well.
Facts. So yeah. Anything else? What's your last one?
Similar to you, I mean, instead of what you expect, but where do we go from here? We're a year in, and we've had over 40 plus people and on 5 or 6 or so high profile guests already. Where do we go from here?
Where do we go? I mean, we're going places, bro. We're going to the moon and back. But in all seriousness, I mean, like I said, I mean, just look forward to seeing just, again, more people on these, different faces from different parts of the world with different stories. So, you're going to see all of that stuff again, right? More, consistently here every single week. That's the plan, to do that. And just to continue on expanding and growing and trying out different things and experimenting. So, like, this is just year 1, like we said. We just finished. And, like, we're still trying to, figure out all the parts that, work together in this machine. So, I think we could say that at this point we've found a decent base foundation, and year 2 is just now to just build the crib, and stuff.
I agree. I think something that I look forward to is definitely having a solidified space. I agree with, that sort of that sort of thing. And I also agree that going forward, there'll probably be a few logistics changes. Don't have to list them all on camera, but whether that's
we got more things coming.
the formatting of our videos and
More things to come. More things to come.
layering and that sort of thing. So there's a lot to come. So stay tuned.
Okay, great. So, as we mentioned before, we're gonna bring on Luis to hop on this now, so he can share his points of views,
Right.
and his experiences just working with us. So
We'll be back briefly. All right, guys, and we're back. So now we are introducing our producer. Please welcome Luis Cruz.
welcome, bro. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I was here a couple of months ago as a guest.
Yes.
And now I'm part of the team.
Officially a part of the team now.
Yeah, bro.
So, yeah.
So for those of you wondering, ever since that episode, Luis has consistently been right behind the camera, kind of running logistics, help keep timing, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Just to give you some, backstory as to how it kind of all came to be. Luis was the one that kind of brought up the idea to Jesse.
Yeah.
That he had free time on his hand, basically what he said.
Right.
And he'd be willing to, be a part of it in some form or fashion. Then Jesse came to me and went on ahead and let me know. So, overall, in general, we've brought in Luis here with open arms. I will say of the two, I was definitely more hesitant because like I had said before, working with a team is not something that, not that I'm against, but it's something that I'm very picky about,
Right.
So I don't just let anybody just, try to take a piece of the pie, sort of say, you know what I'm saying?
Necessarily, yeah.
So, but, as I learned and got to know Luis more, I was like, he's not too bad of a kid.
I won his heart.
I guess you could say, yeah, he took my heart.
I like you guys saw before in his episode. If you haven't checked that already, please do. But just kind of going back on the fact that Luis and I became friends junior year at Columbia, and
We go a little back.
Yeah, we've taken so many classes together, graduated together, and continue. He told me he was interested when after the episode he was like, "You guys need some help?" And we were like, "Absolutely." And I knew Luis pretty well enough that I knew he was going to do a great job. I could understand Rafael's concerns though, because Rafael didn't know Luis the way I know him, in the sense that I see Luis almost every single day on campus when we were here at Columbia. Rafael, I'd only seen him maybe 1 or 2 times ever since then.
So, yeah. And not to mention, I just really just learned the campaigns. Exactly. I'm still learning all these new faces and stuff. Again, we just started this pod. He kind of came in about 6 months, 7th month.
Yeah, right around the middle of the mark, I would say.
It kind of started when we were in that library.
Yeah.
And you guys were trying to design a new logo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know a little bit of editing. Let me put something together. And
if you guys haven't checked out already, we have updated our logo. We still have the official banner on the back, but if you go on and on all
some changes, some tweaks,
you'll see a little something different.
Yeah.
What was there before?
But I remember, like I was saying, Luis, he definitely showed that, like I had said, that grit, that hard work, and just willingness to try and be willing to take risks.
Yep.
I saw a lot of, in some ways I saw a lot of me in him, right? And yeah, and just knowing he could definitely do a lot of things that Jesse and I definitely need help in, right? But also give us an ability to just how would you say, just make our lives easier.
I would also say that for those that don't know, my family had Luis over for was it Nochebuena or
Nochebuena, yeah.
So it's
for people that don't know or speak Spanish, that's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Christmas Eve dinner in the Dominican household is almost like another Thanksgiving dinner. And so Luis and his mom came over to my house in upstate New York, and I think from there I could definitely tell that we had already formed a really good bond. And then after that, I had him on the podcast, and now he's the producer, and so we've definitely very grateful for everything that he's able to do. Without further ado, let's get into the Q&A.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, we wrapped up some questions as well for Luis. But before anything, just Luis, just to get your own little thoughts, just how you feeling getting onto this, and just your thought process coming into this overall.
Yeah, no, you put me in the hot seat already. So
yeah, bro,
he's in the middle.
No, I'm very glad to be part of the team. I think it's been a pretty wild ride, you know, working with you guys and getting to see the variety of guests that we have and like all the stuff that happens in the background. You guys don't see half of what happens in the background, but I promise you,
That's true.
We're cooking and we have like highs and lows, and it's just it's been a ride.
It's a ride for sure.
Definitely has been a ride. Speaking of being hopping on rides, though, what has been your
I don't want to hop on that ride.
He always is. But
No.
what has been your favorite part about being on our podcast so far?
My favorite part, I mean, I got a few favorite parts.
Go ahead.
So honestly, I love working with you guys, right? Y'all are chaotic. Y'all are kind of goofy, but I love you guys like brothers.
Thank you.
So like I think we all complement our strengths and weaknesses so well, right? Jesse, for instance, he's like our outreach person, and like I promise you, like, you think you get a lot of emails when you're in college? Nah, I get spammed every day with this kid. With all, like, when I get like included in the chains and the threads, it's like constantly, hey, this person, are you still interested in the podcast? Hey, are you still interested? Like, I'm always getting spammed emails with this kid because he's always on top.
We. And I actually not we anymore, because I'm gonna be honest, bro. I had to mute everything, bro, because I mute all my notifications because the amount of bleep, 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 I'm just like, bro, I can't do this anymore. I can't. It's ridiculous.
It's more so like reason I CC them is so they obviously stay in the loop.
No, it's obviously we can stay in the loop and stuff like
But
that.
I will say they end up finding out anyway when on our occasional FaceTime calls when we're like, okay, so this is the new update on the podcast. But it's definitely been a excellent ride to be able to reach out to so many people and have, like I said, have the courage, I say is the best word to put it,
Right.
to reach out to people that you couldn't even imagine that you'd be sitting in the same chair with or be in the same room with them.
Right.
Not because they're high profile, but rather necessarily because you're not used to being in that space. Right. I think that's something we've all done an excellent job of stepping out of that comfort zone. So, Luis, how do you feel about you from getting spammed hello every day?
Like, it's a little annoying, I'm not gonna lie, but I really appreciate that you're always on top of the communication and just, like, helping keeping us organized, making like the docs and stuff. So thank you for like keeping us together a bit.
I know I can't do it, so like I know that's why I had that. That's why Jesse's still around, bro, because I can't do it, man.
Yeah.
And I would say, I will say, Rafael, you've also been like more of like a leader and a mentor to us.
Thank you.
That's true.
Like, you being a few years older than us, you have that experience that we don't.
Just a couple of years. But yes, continue.
But yeah, no, I just really appreciate the insight that you're able to give us as well, especially like after graduation. You were like, damn, like I promise you guys, like I'm quoting him here, I promise you guys, you're gonna miss college. You're gonna feel so like empty once you graduate. You don't know what to do with your time.
OD.
And it was real, like word for word, that's what happened.
Yeah.
So like again, I just really appreciate the work that you do. You're the photography mastermind after all. I've learned a lot from you as well.
Thank you.
We still love those graduation photos, by the way, that he took. Came out excellent. Same with
Hire this man if you need a photographer for graduation.
Yes.
beyond graduation, weddings, all that.
Yes.
Please go
Events in general.
Yeah, I take pictures, guys. So thank you. Yes, I appreciate that, bro. But yeah, no, yeah, I think we can both agree, Jesse. Like, we've definitely, like I said, learned a lot. Just having Luis around us, I think we can both agree he's definitely been like the peacemaker, so to say, when it comes to just like our little disputes. Because like he says, yes, it could get very crazy and chaotic, but we definitely find our ways to just Luis finds a way to kind of like hold things down, so to say. So now to ask my question here, I can get these damn cards. Okay. My question here is, of the two of us, and I need you to say it straight. All right? No BS this, bro.
Oh God.
Who is your favorite, bro? Me or him?
Damn, bro. That's like, you're throwing me in the fire right there. Damn. I will say, all right, let's make it like a little bit.
No favorites.
I'd say 51% Rafael, 50% Jesse.
Let's go. I take that majority.
49%, I mean.
I take the majority, bro.
Because, I mean, again, like I said, You're a little goofy. You're a little chaotic.
Yeah.
Rafael's a slightly more mature, right? Jesse can be a bit sometimes. But again, I love you two like brothers. And I just think that Rafael, you being a little bit older, a little bit more wise, I can go to you a bit for more advice. And then Jesse, he's more of like the productivity guy, right? He keeps us on track.
Yeah.
So again, I love that from you as well.
Facts.
So again, if I need advice, Rafael. If I need to like stay on track, Jesse.
But don't get twisted. Luis has also asked me for advice before, but
I will admit that.
No, yeah, of course.
But yeah, I think honestly, there are no favorites in this world. We're all loved together. I think we've definitely grown as a family. And for those that are still interested, if you guys, maybe you can have a position one day. Who knows? We have our email linked in the link tree. Go check that out if you haven't already.
Yeah, we're always willing to listen. And
yeah, always willing to attend to offers. But like we said, this is a movement. It's not just a podcast. We're trying to spread motivation,
positivity,
how to overcome adversity, and without Luis, none of this is possible. Without Rafael, none of this is possible. And same thing with myself. Without me, none of this is possible. We all rely on each other in different ways.
Facts.
We all build off of that. So for that, don't defy all the odds.
OD. I mean, Luis, do you have any questions for us? Again, you're the one that kind of came into this mess. So
Right. So I guess one question would be, I guess, what do you look forward to in the next year as regards to like us as a team?
As a team?
Yeah.
I definitely feel like I mean, we've all kind of figured out our roles, so to say,
right? In
this space, and I think like just going into the next year, I think we're just gonna be able to just like improve our skills in those individually to the point where we're like, when we inevitably start to expand more as a team, right, we'll all be able to show our strength,
right,
in different ways, where the next person that comes in here would be able to learn from all of us and essentially just be like a duplicate of all of us, you know what I mean? Because I remember telling Jesse, like, you're like, yo, when Luis comes here, if we're gonna bring him here, he needs to learn everything. Right? True. Like, he can't just be learning how to edit videos. He can't just learn how to record. He can't just learn how to outreach. He needs to be Rafael and Jesse.
Right.
And
one, right? So that if one of us falls back, he can be the other hand, and vice versa, right? If he falls down, obviously we'll be here to bring it up because we
exactly,
right? So I think looking forward to just being able to just like master the stuff that we've been doing already to a degree, and like I said, we have this foundation built, and it's just gonna build bigger to inevitably have this fortitude that we want.
Yeah, well put.
Definitely see a lot of different maybe changes, but in a good way. We've continued to continuously progress, whether that's been our editing, our videos, our logistics, software, you name it. We've definitely changed a few things and continue to improve. I think, like I said before, 1% better than every day is the best way to put it. And like you look at every single video, there's something different. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's just the person or the guest or the location, but there's something else that's been different.
Little increments.
Exactly.
Little increment.
If you notice right now, we have handheld microphones. All of our old episodes.
Bro, it took us almost a year to get them.
All of our old episodes had, clip-on microphones. And
no, not just clip-on. 2 mics. I spent almost a year not having a mic, and a lot of people noticed that too.
I'll never forget when we used to be sliding the mic back and forth from the TV.
Oh yeah, I hated that. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, you know what, bro? At this point, I'm just gonna yell and just hope for the best.
I wish y'all could have seen like our reaction when we finally got these mics working.
Yo, bro,
we were like at Fire's place. And like we got the tech working, and it was like we discovered fire.
Bro, I remember telling you, it felt like we discovered like the atomic bomb. Like we found like I felt like I was on some Oppenheimer stuff, I just was like amazed that we were able to like put this together.
But
it's not as easy as it seems.
We definitely, as you see, improve. So many different ways. Unfortunately I wasn't there, but I saw the raw reaction when they called me on a FaceTime call, and I'm just like, whoa. we've definitely improved it to a different level.
Exactly. So it's only gonna get better from here.
Now, for my last question for Luis, is this what you signed up for?
Good question. I will say yes.
There we go.
Right?
Love to hear it.
Because I mean, I'm gonna be straightforward with you guys. I've never told anyone, like I haven't told you guys this, but when I was younger, right, when I was in like middle school, high school, I really wanted to be a YouTuber.
Okay.
Oh wow.
But when you're at that age, right, like obviously you're like a growing boy, you love video games, right?
Right.
So I really wanted to be like
like Ali or something.
I
like
wanted
that.
to have a gaming channel where and specifically I used to be like big into Roblox.
Man.
I would play all these games and record myself, and like I really wanted to, like, that's the reason what got me into editing.
Yeah.
Right? Because I really want to make all those cool montages, right? Like you see online where they have like COD and like all those games. No, I wanted to be a Roblox YouTuber. So
I mean, those YouTubers make money, bro.
they do.
Could have done something.
There's
with
a
it.
big market with it.
I never knew this. This is new.
But so I really want to make those montages, right? And then I searched up like how do you edit?
Yeah.
And then I stumbled upon DaVinci Resolve, which has like a free version. Because, you know, being the kid I was broke. I didn't have money for like Premiere Pro or anything.
Right.
So I self-taught myself DaVinci Resolve, like watching YouTube videos, because there's like so many free like resources online. So if you want to learn something, go watch YouTube, go look on the internet. You can learn anything.
Especially with the emergence of AI now as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I self-taught myself DaVinci Resolve. I taught myself how to use GIMP, which is like bootleg Photoshop. And that's how I learned how to make like content, right? And unfortunately, I didn't get very far with the gaming channel.
But it helped you now, right?
I put the skills to good use, right? I had to quit the YouTube channel because I started college and I was busy, and my mom thought I was a loser because I was playing games all day. Because you know how Hispanic moms be like,
Yeah,
right? You can tell. Yeah. But the thing is, I put the skills to good use because now I'm with you guys and we're making valuable content.
1,000%.
And I'm just glad I got to work on cool projects like the ad that we made for The Only.
Yes.
Right? That was a big like undertaking that I did, right? Working with these guys to like film and then working in the background to edit. Like it's a lot harder than it seems.
It really
and
is.
it had me pulling my hair out for a bit, but like I'm very excited for the future, for what we'll cook up for like future sponsorships or just like projects in general.
Yeah.
So this is definitely what I signed up for.
We'd love to hear it. I honestly, I made up that question because I was always curious about what was like going on in Luis's mind when he had seen maybe 20 plus, I don't remember, but 20 plus episodes in, seeing the way Rafael and I kind of ran the programming behind the scenes. And there's definitely, like I mentioned, it's been a lot of different changes and improvements for the better. And Luis has been part of every single one of them. And for that, we're always so grateful for all the work he puts in. And I'm really glad that everything that has happened since his arrival has kind of been his envision as well. And big shout out to Mahari, who's if you're watching this, that ad that we did with The Only was
Yeah, bro, you're the GOAT.
That was the very first official sponsorship of the Defying All Odds podcast with an outside sponsor.
Right.
And no matter how big or small sponsors, we are always grateful to anybody that's willing to support this movement. And so for that, thank you, Mahari, for giving us the chance to put out your brand and also believe in the Defying All Odds podcast.
But yeah, guys, I think this was fun. I think it's really cool to just reflect on our year, this entire year and everything. And like I said, we said, more things to come.
Yep.
And I think that's all the time we got. All the time we have. It's your boy Rafa. On my right is...
This is Jesse signing off.
And behind us, or between us,
Luis, I'll see you guys behind the camera. And yeah.
Stay tuned next week. We'll have another one. See ya.
Deuces.
Deuces.